Hello there guys and welcome to Sunday's live stream. I'm JWF1 and we are here for the final bits of action here at Monza, and we're going to kick things off with race 2 for IFMC GP3. If you didn't see what happened yesterday in race 1, it was a very interesting race, it must be said, but in the end it was Lucas Di Grassi who went on to take American Engineering's first ever IFMC GP3 victory ahead of Robert Kubica, and third place going to Nico Kari. I said yesterday that it was his first ever podium. It wasn't, I am wrong. He did actually get one back in season 2, but it was just Suomi's first podium since they came back, so I do apologise if I said that, and sorry if you just saw that for a little bit there. I forgot to put something down at the bottom right of my screen before I started this stream. But anyway, we're here for 11 laps for race 2, and the grid gets reversed. And initially it would have seen Michael Aleshin on pole position, but he got a 10-second time penalty yesterday for causing a collision with Will Power in the at turn 1 at the start. So he's down in 15th place. So as a result, it now leaves Antoine Hubert in the KR Racing car to take pole position for race number 2. And it's going to be very interesting to see if Hubert can try and get a victory. But he will have some competition in the form of Habsburg, Newgarden and even Aitken as well. A lot of big names right behind him. It's going to be quite hard for Hubert to try and hold these guys, but he will give it his best shot. So before we start then guys, let's mute this, turn this up a little, and let's have a look at the grid for race 2 here at Monza. Here we go then. So on pole position is Antoine Hubert with Jack Aitken in second. Third on the grid is Ferdinand Habsburg with championship contender Josef Newgarden 4th. Sébastien Buemi lines up in 5th with Nico Kari in 6th. Robert Kubica starts 7th with Lucas Di Grassi in 8th position. Yesterday's winner, of course. Jenson Button starts 9th with Santino Ferrucci in 10th. 11th on the grid is Daniil Kvyat, followed by Will Power in 12th. 13th on the grid goes to Kyle Kaiser, followed by Daniel Abt, who starts 14th on the grid. 15th due to his penalisation is Michael Aleshin, followed by Felipe Nasr in the Shadow Racing car. 17th on the grid is Marco Andretti, followed by Aerovinio in 18th. 19th on the grid goes to Antonio Fuoco, followed by Anthony Davidson in 20th. And on the back row of the grid, it's the two guys who retired yesterday, Nick Heidfeld 21st and Alexander Rossi for the second day in a row, 22nd and last. And that is the grid for race 2 here at Monza. So there's the grid then guys for race 2 here at Monza, and the weather of course being bright and sunny, so leave your predictions, but without further ado, let's get to race 2 here at Monza. So here we are then on the grid then. It's Hubert on the right of your screens, Aitken on the left, who's going to get the lead into turn 1 as we wait for the 5 red lights to go off to signify the start of race 2 here at Monza, as we wait for those 5 red lights to get going. 1 light is on. 2 lights are on, 3 lights are on, 4 lights are on, 5 lights are on. And it is going for race 2 here at Monza. It's a good start from Hubert. He's got a very good start on Aitken now then, as the front 2 seem to have got away pretty well. And as you can see, everybody trying to keep single file as they made their way into the first chicane now then. Up towards the first chicane we go. Aitken got a slot behind Hubert as they made their way into the first chicane. Newgarden on the inside of Aitken, and they've touched. Newgarden and Aitken have touched, but luckily Newgarden lets him back through so he doesn't get a place, as everybody else got through the first corner okay, as they make their way through the first chicane now then. And yeah, it seems everybody's got through okay. Heidfeld and Rossi trying to tippy-toe on the first chicane to avoid contact, but Hubert with quite a lead now, out in front of the race with Aitken second. Newgarden in third, but Newgarden going to attack for second place now then. He's going to go to the inside. Can he try and do it a little cleaner this time now as they make their way into the second chicane? Will he get the move done? Danny inside, and yes he can. Newgarden up into second place. Now Aitken on the threat from Habsburg. At the moment in this race, Habsburg needs to get through. He doesn't want Newgarden to get away that easily in front, as Aitken defends into the first Lesmo now then. A good start from Kubica to get up into 6th place there. Not a good start from Kari, who's down to 8th. Di Grassi outside the top 10. So not a good start from yesterday's winner to be down in 11th place. All of them go through these section of corners. Vinier's down to the back of the pack. Something must have happened to him at the chicane. There he is. He's gone off somewhere and it's unknown who tapped him. So whatever's happened, Vinier's been tapped off at the second chicane. And now finds himself down at the back of the pack. Luckily not too far away from the rest of the pack, but still got to make some progress. Meantime, Newgarden trying to chase down Hubert if he can for the leaders. Habsburg trying to get on Aitken just like he did yesterday. Aitken going defensive into the Ascari chicane. Buemi not that far behind these two as well. Through Ascari we go as they make way into the corner. Kari having to defend from Kvyat, who's over the back of him at this stage. As a lot of defending going on into the chicane. As Nasr defending from Fuoco there, just pretty much chopping the nose off there. And Vinio just about Able to catch up as meantime, side by side goes Aitken and Habsburg. Will Habsburg get the place into parabolic and down the inside? He goes, Aitken trying to stick with him, but it's not enough. Habsburg up into third place, he gets onto the podium. Now can he try and chase down Newgarden? He's challenging Ralph for second, but actually Aitken hasn't given up. He's gone alongside him again. Down the pit straight, Aitken trying to retake third from Ferdinand Habsburg as it goes side by side down the pit straight. Habsburg trying to stick with him as he looks like, I think it said there, I think it was Hugh Bear's name, I'm not 100% sure, that just set the Hurley fastest lap up towards the first chicane we go. Can Aitken retake third from Ferdinand Habsburg down the inside of the chicane? Habsburg trying to stick with him, but isn't enough. Aitken retakes third. Habsburg in the clutches of Buemi as they come out of this chicane now then. Out of the turn we go before approaching turn 5 on the track now then. And they make their way around the right hander now then through this quick right-hander. Buemi now in the slipstream of Habsburg. Can he try and grab fifth from the Austrian now then? He tries to have a look, trying to get alongside Habsburg. Can he do so? No, Habsburg shuts the door and keeps hold of the place for the moment as they make their way into the second chicane. Kubica and Button catch up. Kvyat again having a look at Kari, but Kari having to go straight on. He ran out of the road and Kvyat takes the place and gets up into 8th place. Everybody having to slow down to avoid Kari there, and Kvyat getting the place there. Cleanly there, pretty much doing a Hamilton-esque move from 2013 in Hungary in real life, so nothing to be concerned about there. Kari just initially ran out of the road into that second chicane, made him way down the straight. Now in the meantime, Kubica all over the backside of Buemi. Can he try and grab fifth from Buemi? In fact, Buemi's stuck in the slipstream of Habsburg. Habsburg again going defensive as Kvyat down the inside. He clips the back of Habsburg, but luckily he doesn't take him out. But Kubica luckily doesn't sustain some damage and gets up into 5th place. If he had took him out there would have been some serious implications in the championship and even an investigation looming on Kubica there. But now Buemi going to take advantage. He's back on the pile of Kubica. That contact has allowed Habsburg to get away a little bit. Down the inside goes Buemi. Can he retake 5th from the pole now? Then down through Parabolica as Button's not far behind as well. Side by side they go through Parabolica as they head down the pit straight towards the first chicane now then on the track. And side by side they go. He bears setting another fastest lap, so he's flying out in front, it must be said, as Newgarden hasn't got really a response to the Frenchman, as Buemi retakes 5th. Button had a go at Kubica, but isn't able to make the move stick as they go down towards the first chicane. Kubica again in the slipstream. He's going to try and dive it down the inside into the chicane now. They kick Kubica, get the car stopped in time, and yes he can. Kubica up into 5th place, getting the move done. Button now all over the backside of Sébastien. Buemi for 6th, as Kvyat now then trying to find a way through, as England have just scored, by the way, for anybody wondering. It's 1-0 to England, and going around the right-hander now then as they go down towards the chicane. Now then Buemi trying to have another go at Kubica. Kubica shutting the door again. Great battling between the pair of them, but this is just allowing Habsburg to just get away a little bit more as he tries to chase down Aitken again for 3rd. As coming out of the chicane to go Kvyat, who up to 8th a little earlier on, is now chasing down Button for 9th place, and unseen by the cameras. Powers taking 9th from Kari, up to 9th place goes Will Powers. He tries to chase down this pack now then down towards the second Lesmo we go. Now Buemi, can he try and retake 5th place from the Kubica, and the straight we go. He's in the slipstream. He tucks up into the slipstream now, and he's going to look to the inside. Can Buemi get the car stop and find a way through on Robert Kubica down the inside into the Ascari chicane? Can he get the move done? And yes, he can. Buemi retakes 5th from the pole. Button now all over the backside of Kubica as they round the Ascari chicane. Kvyat also looking at his teammate if he can. Down the straight we go. Kvyat's in the slipstream of Button. Can he try and make a move? In fact, Button's in the slipstream of Kubica, so unable to get through. Button down the inside of Kubica. Can he take 6th from the pole now then as he headed to Parabolica? Down the inside goes Jenson Button, and he gets the place. Up to 6th place goes Jenson Button. Can Kvyat now try and get the man he's fighting for 3rd in the Drivers' Championship with Robert Kubica? Button possibly giving Kvyat, his teammate, a little bit of a helping hand, but Kubica's actually going back at him now then in the slipstream. Down towards the first corner we go. Down towards the first chicane. Can Kubica find a way through on Jenson Button as they go side by side into the chicane? Power now sets the fast laps of Power, now holding on to the bonus point for the fast lap of race 1. Lap 4 of 11 now then in this race, so specifically we now have 8 laps remaining here for race number 2. Kubica down the inside, he retakes 6th place, and Kvyat also taking full advantage as well. He grabs 7th from Button, to Button losing 2 places in the chicane, and Kvyat up into 7th place. Now Power is on the back of Button himself, looking to try and take 8 from him now as they make their way round the right-hander towards the second chicane on the track. As meantime is Habsburg getting us to Aitken, not 100% sure. I don't know if Aitken's actually closing back up to Newgarden as they go through the first Lesmo now on the track. Hubert still with a substantial lead and in front of the moment as they make their way down the straight towards the Ascari chicane now on the track. And now down towards Ascari we will go. Up towards Ascari, I should say. And Hubert still with a decent lead in front of championship leader Newgarden. At the moment, if it stays like this, the gap between Newgarden and Habsburg will be up to 6 points in the Drivers' Championship. Meantime, Button up back on the prowl of Kubica. He's going to look to the inside. No team order is clearly done at Pennzoil. Button down the inside of Power. Can he retake Sam from Kvyat? Sorry. Can he try and find a way for his Rossi teammate? Yes, he can. Up to 7th place goes Button again. As meantime, Elation fights with Kari for 11th, who, unseen by the cameras, has lost the place to Grassi. Grassi getting up into 10th place. Meantime, down the straight, we're going on in Power. Looking to the outside now, then Kvyat. He managed to get alongside. Side by side go Kvyat and Power. And Power takes the place. Didn't even need to wait for Power Bollica. Power now finds himself in a Pennzoil sandwich. And he's up into 8th place as he now tries to chase down Button for 7th. But Kvyat still in his slipstream. Grassi now getting close to this scrap himself now. Then, meantime, Kubica trying to chase back down Buemi for 5th place. Now that he's been released from those two. In fact, look at this battle going on. Kvyat looking to the inside of Power again. Power, though, stuck in the slipstream of Button. Can he try and take 7th from the British veteran? He's going to look to the inside. Button tries to shut the door, but it's already too late. Power finds a gap on the inside. Kvyat trying to make it 3 wide. Too far back. Late on the brakes, and Power up into 7th place, getting the move done on Button. As now it's a 3-way scrap for 8th between Button, Kvyat, and Grassi. And that's that really, as far as I can see. Kari also not far back from this scrap as well. In fact, a few cars aren't far behind this lot as well. Round the right-hander we go then up towards the second chicane on the track. Kvyat trying to get in the slipstream, but in fact Kvyat's going to have to defend because Grassi's in the slipstream. Grassi finds a gap down the inside. Into the second chicane, down the inside he goes and he takes it. Up to 9th place goes Lucas Grassi. A great move from yesterday's winner, and it's 9th place for Lucas Grassi. Now Button's got a bit of a gap, but Kvyat trying to get back at him as Grassi went defensive into the first Lesmo now then. As they come off the turn up towards the second Lesmo. Kvyat down the inside of the second Lesmo, but Grassi shuts the door and holds onto the place. Kari will try and capitalise, but he's not within the slipstream of Kvyat as they make their way down the straight towards the Ascari chicane. He's got a bit of a gap now in front of Elation as we speak about Kari as they now approach Ascari. Meantime, Nasr all over the backside of Kaiser and Ferrucci, and a lot of battling going on down the field. It's Nasr looks to the inside of Kaiser now. Could he take 14th place from the American into Ascari? And no, Kaiser just holds on to that for the moment now then. Meantime, Kvyat's now lost time to Grassi. As a result, as it seems now, things have just separated their way. So meantime, Hubert now in on lap 6 of 11, so 6 laps remaining for the young Frenchman as he looks to try and get his first ever IFMC GP3 victory and get KO Racing second of the season now and make Kubica and Hubert level in terms of victories. But of course, Kubica has had the better season compared to Hubert in GP3. That's why he's currently fighting for 3rd in the Drivers' Championship. Round that right-hander we go. Here's Newgarden, currently second, just hasn't got a response to Hubert at the moment. But second, I think, wouldn't mind the American at the moment because at this rate, if he stays like this, the gap will be up to 6 points between Newgarden and Habsburg. So as a result, it will go to the finale in Abu Dhabi in 3 weeks' time between Habsburg and Newgarden. And I think it is just going to be those two. I don't know if anybody else has an outside shot. I will have a look at the end, but I do know it's probably more likely going to be between Newgarden and Habsburg for the Drivers' Championship this season. At least we will have a finale, unlike last season where Rosenquist completely dominated it when Red Bull Academy, when this is known as Robert Patrick Hunter Racing. Now Rosenquist is in good position after this, of course, to take the championship in the sprint race, but he will need quite a lot of luck on his side if he wants to do that, since he's down in 7th and he needs to win and get the fastest lap whilst ensuring Russell finishes outside the points to win the championship. So that's that really. As meantime, Hubert up towards the parabolica he goes as he continues to lead the way as he soon starts lap 7 of 11, so 5 laps remaining for Antoine Hubert as he makes his way down the pit straight. So that's that really as far as he's concerned. Meantime, Grassi trying to get up close to Button, but still not within the slipstream of the Brit as Power now gets a gap with Jenson. Button. Power now trying to chase down Robert Kubica if he can for the final points place, denying any chance of potentially KO Racing getting another double points finish just like yesterday. Let's see the gap between Grassi and Button. In fact, let's have a look at the gap between Power and Kubica at the moment as they make their way into the first chicane through that right-hander, and then into the left. The gap 2.1 seconds between the pair of them, as it's 0.5 seconds between Button and Grassi. Grassi trying to get the better traction compared to Button coming out of that first chicane as they come up now then towards the right-hander on the track. Up towards that second chicane we go. Grassi right in the slipstream now. Then we go as Grassi tries to get a move done on Jenson Button. Into that second chicane we go. Out of the turn using all the curb on the outside as he tries to get the move done on Jenson Button for 8th. And now up towards the first Lesmo we go. And Button, look at this now. Grassi starting to get right onto the prow of Jenson Button now. They're starting to get within the slipstream of the British veteran, so it could become quite close between the pair of them. Kvyat also not far behind, but still not really within the slipstream range of these two at this stage as they go down towards the Ascari chicane then for the 7th time today. And Grassi now, they're trying to get the move done on Button if he can, up towards Ascari. Round the left, then the right, and then into the left-hander again we go. Using all the traction out the turn, heading down the straight before approaching Parabolica. And that's that really as far as he's concerned. And now up towards Parabolica we will go. And Grassi trying to get up close if he can. And through towards the Parabolica we will go then on the track. And can Grassi try and get a move done on Jenson Button now then as they go down the pitch straight. Grassi in the slipstream of Button now then. He tries to have a look to the inside. He's now getting alongside the Brit. Can Grassi grab 8th from Jenson Button as they make their way down towards the first chicane now then on the track. Side by side they go. And in towards the first chicane we go. And Grassi gets the place. But Button trying to do the switch back and gets the place. Pretty much caught Grassi unawares there. And Button retakes 8th place. Great. Great tactical thinking there from Button to do a little switch back there on Lucas Grassi, but Grassi will now get the slipstream up towards the second chicane now. Then will Grassi try and get the move done on Jenson Button. Button goes defensive. Will Grassi try and flick it to the inside? He's going to do so. Down the inside into the chicane. Nearly close to contact. Grassi had to back out and Button holds on to 8th place. Kvyat closes up a little bit, but still not within the slipstream at the moment of this stage as they make their way into the first and second Lesmo. Meantime, Kari holding up a train in their battle for 11th as Davidson's holding up Apt for 15th at the moment. Meantime, Vinio all over the backside of Rossi, who hasn't really gained much in this race, really not struggling to recover, it must be said, during this part of the race. Meantime, Habsburg looking like he's starting to close up now to Aitken for 3rd place. And to try and reduce a little bit more pain that Newgarden will increase in the Drivers' Championship, he can just try and get close to the British Korean as they make their way into the Parabolica. And so that's that for them really. Meantime, Grassi closing back up to Button. He's not giving up on him just yet. What's the gap between Habsburg and Aitken as Hubert's now on lap 9 of 11 here for race 2, heading down the pit straight. The gap between Aitken and Habsburg is now, as we go in towards the first chicane on the track, the gap being, let's have a look, it's 0.9 seconds, so it is under a second between the pair of them at this stage. Habsburg possibly lapping quicker than Aitken at this stage. Grassi getting close, but he's not close enough to pull a pass on Button. Button goes defensive just in case, but as mentioned, Grassi not close enough to get Button at this stage. Through the first chicane we go, but that entrance might have compromised Button as Grassi will yet again look like he'll get the slipstream going up towards the second chicane. Will Grassi get Button this time by now? Then round the right hander we go. He's closer than what he was previous lap, so surely Grassi's got a good opportunity to get him. He's going to look to the outside in towards the second chicane we go. Can Grassi get the move done on Jenson Button? Button no shuts the door, and Grassi has to stay behind. He doesn't even think about diving it again into the second chicane. Button doing a good job keeping him back at this stage of the race now. Then up towards the first Lesmo we will go on the track. Grassi now then all over the prowl of Jenson Button. Out of the turn we go, and we'll possibly now have a run down this straight. Button goes defensive into the second Lesmo. Out of the turn we go as he uses all the curb on the outside, heading down the straight before approaching the Ascari chicane. Grassi in the slipstream of Button now then. He's going to look to the inside. Can he get the move done on Jenson Button this time around for P8? Side by side to go. Up towards the sky. Will Grassi get the move done? Danny inside. And yes, he does. Grassi up into 8th place. He finally gets the move done on Jenson Button, and that's P8 for the Brazilian. Now Kvyat all over the slipstream of his own teammate. Now they can Kvyat try and grab 9th from Jenson Button, trying to get alongside his own teammate down this straight. Tried to, but had to back out of it as Button was about to shut the door. As unseen by the cameras, Elation and has taken a length, and it looks like it's 3 wide going down this straight now. Then surely those 3 are not going to make it as Kari had to back out of it, so he drops 2 places. Nasr down the inside of Kaiser. Will he grab 12th from the American as they go side by side through Parabolica? And let's see, is they're going to continue side by side. Meantime, Kvyat down the inside of Jenson Button. Will he get the move done on his teammate as we're on to the penultimate lap of the race? Button looks like he's got an edge, but will Kvyat try and break him into the first chicane? And no, he's not. Button just able to stay in front for the moment as Nasr tries to have a look at Kayser, but Kayser keeping him on his car. He trying to have a look again in that battle. Nasr trying to break later. Then Kayser has a look, but Kayser shuts the door and holds on to 12th. Nasr on the prowl of Kari again as meantime Heidfeld down the inside of Abt, and he takes 15th with ease, taking the place off his fellow compatriot for P15 now then. So a lot of battling going down the field. Kvyat still stuck behind Button for 9th place now then in this race as they make their way out of the chicane. And Habsburg not close enough to Aitken, and it looks like if Aitken's able to pull this one off, it looks like he will get hold of P number 3. And I think I did see a retirement from the race as England's got a penalty. Who's out of the race? I think it said Anthony Davidson's name that is just retired. Is it Davidson that's retired? And I think it is, because I didn't see him there, so I'll try and see if we can catch Vinio from this point and see if we can try and catch Davidson from this point. And it is Anthony Davidson. Anthony Davidson out of the race. I think he will be classified anyway because he has done 90% of the race distance. And I think we've missed him, so whatever's happened, I think it is a mechanical problem. Anthony Davidson is out of the race and we're down to 21 runners in these final few metres of the race. And as England are now 2-0 in front, thanks to the penalty, as they make their way through in towards the chicane. Hubert coming up towards the line very soon as we look at Habsburg, who's not that far behind Aitken, but he'll need a little bit of more of a push if he wants to get him on the final lap. Meantime, Kvyat all over the backside of Button, looking to the outside of him now. They're down towards the Ascari chicane. Will Kvyat try and pull this off? He tried to have a look, but can he get the slipstream up towards Ascari? And again, doesn't look close enough, so Button will hold on to the place for now, even despite defending into the Ascari chicane. Meantime, here's Antoine Hubert, who's coming down the pit straight, and Antoine Hubert is about to start his final lap here at race 2. It's just been a brilliant race for the Frenchman. He started on pole position and was able to get a fantastic start, was able to succumb the pressure to all the big names that were behind him who did well this season in the championship, and from that point not even Newgarden could even keep up with him after he passed Aitken in the early laps. And if he could just keep this up, Hubert is looking good to get his first ever IFMC GP3 victory and KR Racing's second victory of the season. So that really is. Habsburg not close enough that time. By meantime, Kvyat getting the slipstream of Button again. But it looks like again Button again doing a good job fending him off as they make their way into the first chicane. Will Kvyat try and flick it to the inside? And no, he's going to remain behind him at this stage of the race, as it looks like top 13 with 14th looks to be settled with. They're not really making that much room, and as we saw a couple of laps ago, Kvyat now then it has enough momentum around this right-hander, and surely he's going to have a run down towards the second chicane. He's in the slipstream of Jenson Button. He's going to look to the inside. Can he pull the move off on his teammate? Again, just doesn't have the momentum. Can he try into the chicane? He's going to try and dive it down the inside. Can Kvyat get the car stopped? But he has to back out of it eventually because Button was able to hang it and shut the door and holds on to 9th. Kvyat probably has 2 more chances. That's at the Scari and the Parabolica. That's his final hope of trying to get the place of Jenson Button. Habsburg's trying to get close, but I think Aitken will just hold on for 3rd place, meaning at this rate, unless Newgarden or Habsburg set the fastest lap, the gap will be 6 points as they go into the finale at Abu Dhabi. But meantime, here's Hubert, who's coming around the Parabolica, and he's done a fantastic job. The Frenchman showing his talents at last, and he comes down the pit straight. It is going to be Antoine Hubert who wins race 2 here at Monza. Congratulations to him and the KR Racing team. He takes his first ever IFMC GP3 victory, a fully deserved victory for the Frenchman. Josef Newgarden across the line in 2nd, Jack Aitken finishes in 3rd, Ferdinand Habsburg 4th, and as a result the championship is going down to the final weekend in Abu Dhabi. Buemi finishes in 5th, Kubica rounds out the points in 6th, Power close behind in 7th. I think he's got the fastest lap bonus point anyway. Grassi will cross the line in 8th position. It's going to be a run between the two Pennzoil boys. Kvyat down the inside. Who's going to get the run? Side by side. And I think Button just has him on the line. Button takes 9th. Kvyat 10th. Elation 11th. Kayser will cross the line in 12th. Nasr will be 13th. Kari 14th. Unable to replicate yesterday's podium. Heidfeld 15th. Abt 16th. 17th for Ferrucci. 18th Andretti. 19th Rossi. Ferrucci 20th. And Vinio, the latter of the finishes, in 21st position. And there you have it then. In the end, Antoine Hubert is the winner here at Monza. A fully deserved victory for the Frenchman. And, well, Very well done from the Frenchman. So there you have it then, guys. After all of that, here is the results of race number 2 here at Monza. Antoine Hubert won the race with Josef Newgarden in 2nd, Jack Aitken 3rd, Ferdinand Habsburg 4th, Sébastien Buemi 5th, Robert Kubica 6th, Will Power 7th, Lucas de Grassi 8th, Jenson Button 9th, with Daniil Kvyat 10th, Michael Alation 7th, Kyle Kaiser 12th, Felipe Nasr 13th, Nico Kari in 14th. If we scroll down the rest of the field, it's Nick Heidfeld 15th, Daniil Aptin 16th, with Antonio Ferrucci 17th, Marco Andretti 18th, Alexander Rossi 19th, both of them never really recovered, Santino Ferrucci 20th, Erovani Lotta finishes in 21st, and the only retirement being Anthony Davidson, so he wasn't classified. He was classified as a retirement. So, let's see who set the fastest lap of the race. Then he was going away with the bonus point, and it was Will Power with a 1 minute 32.524. So he gets the bonus point for the fastest lap of the race. So at least he finally gets some points for the first time in a couple of weekends. He was 800s quicker than eventual winner Antoine Hubert in the end there then. So there you have it then, guys. That has been it for race number 2 here at GP3. GP3 will be back in 3 weeks' time at the finale for their finale in Abu Dhabi, where we'll be having a title decider. They won't be on for the next 2 weeks. It will just be IFMC for the next 2 weeks. But stick around now, guys, because coming up next is the sprint race for IFMC GP2, which sees Sergio Setakamara on pole position, Nobuharu Matsushita and Mitch Evans. So if you want to go and grab a quick drink, you can. The podium for GP3 is coming away just after this. But until then, I've been JWF1. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys in just a little bit. Enjoy the GP3 podium. You can also watch the England match while the break is on if you want to. See you in just over half an hour's time for the sprint race for GP2. Enjoy the GP3 podium.